All right, welcome back everybody to the Now Morning Show. Thank you for being with us. And who else are going to be on this fantastic Friday other than with us here on the Now Morning Show, brightening your day. Now we're going to be chatting with Nishard M, who's a chutney soca artist, and we're going to be, speaking on the same topic about, the allowances that have been put in place for cultural workers. Good morning, Nishard.
Good morning, boys. Good morning, to all the viewers all across the world.
Definitely. How you been, coping with the pandemic, really?
To be honest with you, bro, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, mentally. But thankfully, by the grace of God, we're still here. We have life and health and strength, and that is all we need to be thankful for right now. So,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But pre-pandemic, things were, of course, a lot different, and you would have had a lot of performances to look forward to doing during the carnival season and even out of the carnival season. How many performances you would say on average pre-pandemic you would have been doing a year?
Whoa, that's a difficult figure to come up with off the bat just like that. But just to give you an idea, it's generally multiple events every single weekend.
Right.
We tour every month to different countries, basically taking our music, taking our culture, and stamping that Trinidad and Tobago identity wherever we go.
Right.
It's a large number. So in terms of the effect that it's had on us after the shutdown, it really was something that we felt that I think every single person from the upper echelons in the industry, if you want to put it that way, all the way down to the bottom, we've basically been home for 15 months. We really recognize that our industry is built on congregation.
Yeah.
We depend on people to come out to shows and that kind of thing. So there was no way for us that we could want to come out and say, hey, let's try to do this or try to do that, understanding the seriousness of everything that's going on. So we knew that we basically just needed to sit back and wait for the science and the medicine to lead the way in this case, and wait for our turn basically in terms of being able to get back on our feet and hopefully kickstart the creative industry again. So thankfully, it seems like now there's a little light at the end of the tunnel, with the vaccination drive, with everything that's happening, not just locally, but globally. There seems to be a little light at the end of the tunnel. So again, just thankful for that, and looking forward to do what we love to do again.
Yeah, definitely. So is it that you and your team do you have gigs lined up already, or do you have prospects lined up at this point?
Yeah, definitely. More so in the US than anywhere else. I think things have really began to open back in the US. In terms of live events and that kind of thing. I think their vaccination drive is probably a little bit more advanced, which gives them the flexibility and the comfort to allow crowds to come back into venues, based on whoever's vaccinated and that kind of thing. So we do have some gigs that are already lined up. The first major one is actually on July 31st in New York City.
Nice.
So, like I said, we're just thankful for these opportunities. We're still taking it one day at a time right now.
Right.
Because we're still on a very perilous slope. We're not really out of the woods yet. There's still a lot that's going on around us. There's still some hesitation towards vaccination by certain persons. So apart from these gigs and stuff, we're also trying to use whatever influence we may have as artists to really bring forth that information and encourage people to educate themselves on the importance of getting vaccinated. Because at the end of the day, this vaccination drive, it's not just for us as artists, and we are not doing it just to go out and perform. We are also doing it because we recognize it's part of the bigger picture in terms of us really achieving that herd immunity and being able to get back to some sense of normalcy.
Yeah, I know what you mean. One of the things that people have expressed is, I don't want to call it the awkwardness, but the discomfort and maybe distrust to some degree of being around people and stuff. Again, being within close proximity to people and in crowds and this thing like that as well. Do you foresee yourself going through something like that?
Well, it's something I've been going through since the beginning of the pandemic, Carrie, because to be honest with you, this really boils down to personal responsibility. At the end of the day, I could be doing everything I need to be doing. I could be observing all the protocols. I could be taking all the required preventative measures. But I don't know what the person next to me is doing. I don't know when I go to the grocery store, if I go to the pharmacy, even sometimes around your own family and friends in your own circle, you don't know who these people are around. And it was a little bit I don't want to say it was easier, but in the beginning of the pandemic, we really saw that the virus was infecting a lot of older people, people with comorbidities, people who had pre-existing medical conditions. And I think it kind of gave people, younger people, a little bit of mental comfort, thinking that, you know what, I'm a little bit safe from this. Even if I get it, I'll probably just get a little fever, I'll get over it. But then with all the emergence of all these variants from all across the world, we're seeing really, really young people getting infected, people who have no existing conditions prior. And it really, really, it's a shock almost to see how things have changed and how it's evolved. So now I feel even more antsy, if you want to call it that, to give you a Trinidadian. So I feel antsy to be around people, even some of my own friends. I let them know straight up. I say, bro, this is the case. We all have to do our part. It makes no sense that I'm going on an interview to tell people to stay away and don't do this. And at the end of the day, I still line up with my friends like normal and things.
Exactly.
And they all understood. At least the people who I was able to speak to, I think they took what I said seriously. And you know, at the end of the day, like I said, it's all about personal responsibility. We have to make sure we are doing what we need to do. And that's the only way we're really going to be able to make it out of this.
When you are back on stage, do you foresee still having that discomfort and distrust about being around people? Let's say in countries where their vaccination drive has been very widespread, and and they have opened up to a great degree, such as the US.
I think the vaccination definitely gives us an extra level of protection, but at least for the beginning, when we now start going back out, I do feel like it's not going to be a sense of 100% comfort.
Right.
Because I mean, everybody knows the seriousness of the pandemic. There's no point talking about that. But coming out of the pandemic and that transitional phase between pandemic and normalcy, it's not just going to go back to normal overnight. There's going to be a transitional phase. We're not just going to go back to completely packed venues. Because from what I understand, there are many venues who are asking persons to actually produce their immunization card in order to go in. So for me, I think that's a positive step, because we want to make sure, if it is that we are allowing people to come out and congregate in large numbers, we want to know that they've taken this extra step in being vaccinated to keep everyone safe. For me, I think as time goes along, maybe the mental level of comfort will kind of normalize and kind of settle. But at least for the beginning, I think it's still going to be a little bit, I'm still going to be taking my precautions and doing whatever it is I need to do to keep myself and the people around me safe.
Definitely. Nishard, I want to thank you for your time this morning and joining us. And all the best with your show coming up on the 31st of July.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. And of course, like I said earlier, please educate yourself on the importance of getting vaccinated. We all need to do this together. Thank you, guys, and I hope you have a great morning.
Thanks, Nishard. Have a good one.
Same to you.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We are so close to the end of the show, but we still have a little bit more for you. So stay right where you are. We'll be right back here on the Normal Show.